Dude, right when everybody leaves.
Maybe they don't want anybody.
Okay, so I'm here now alone in the Bordello house. Dude, I think a spirit that's in here likes me. Can you do that again if you like me? There's movement from over there. It's creepy in here alone, man. We haven't been in here yet. Is there anybody in this room with me? I thought I heard a voice. Can you move something in the upstairs up here if you're in here with me, please? I'm a client and I got plenty of money. My name's Colin. What's your name? That was a banger movement from that room. Can you tell me your name? Something is calling me down here into this creepy room. I'm gonna take a seat right here. If there's anybody up here in the Bordello with me. Oh God, there it goes again. No one's even out there. That totally debunks it. Can you come in here and move something in this room so I know that you're here? Oh, something's moved out there. Okay, something else just moved. Come on in here. You're moving stuff out there. Can you move it right in here so I can see it, please? Okay, so this is low ISO high light. I'm going to turn it down. Here's with the ISO extremely low. This camera can shoot super low light. So here's what it looks like with my light almost off. It's like I can barely see anything. There's my light almost dim. There's off. Oh shit. Do you like it when my light's off? Walk over here so that shuts off and whisper something to me. Oh, it's like it left and it came over. Can you walk over here? I've got some money for you if you can come over and entertain me. There goes the yellow light again. Move something out there.
If you don't subscribe to our channel already, please click that subscribe button and make sure to turn your notifications on. It helps us so much and we can't thank all of you enough for the love and support. Also, if you don't follow me, Colin, on Instagram yet, go hit that follow button and go do the same with Peyton, who's even more poppin' on there than me. Getting more followers gets us one step closer to the big dreams that we have for this channel. In addition, if you want to support the show, our merch store is live. We have some pretty flame designs if you ask me. Thank you to everyone that has bought a piece in the past, and trust me, we see the love and recognize it. Anyways, enough shameless self-plugging. Enjoy the episode and stay spooky, guys.
Can you give me one more sign? Once again, people, how I always tell you, my blood sugar, you can see right there. Urgent low, 66. We can't really see, it won't focus for some reason. It's always low when I investigate. Right when I walked by. Right when I walked by. Oh, there's a knock right there. Oh, this thing's creepy too. Why are you doing this? Can you make this stop? Just some thumps over there. Ugh. The moment that I turned the camera off, I swear I just heard some like a scream. Is that you? So everyone was standing outside the doors a little while talking, and I could hear them in those last clips, but now they've left. They're a good distance away, so any EVPs should be considered valid at this point. I'm just gonna speak for a couple more minutes. I reset the meter and already the light. Is there anybody? Whoa. Movement. Movement. I do not know. That sounded almost like one of these things like rattling in here. Right when I'm hearing a ton of noise. Can you use your voice to speak to me? Who is in this room? there's somebody in this room, can you please come out and talk to me? Use that energy and say a word, please. Let me know your name. I'm in here all alone, guys. It's definitely pretty creepy. Wish Peyton was here. I love Peyton to death. My best friend. Can't announce anything yet. Why are you still here? Whispering or something. I'm getting nervous all of a sudden. It's like there's a ton of noises around me. Can you give me one sign? If you want me to leave, yell at me, scream at me, knock on something. I'll get out of your house. But you gotta do something loud. Who is in this room? I feel like there's someone right here in this corner. Oh, it smells. It smells right here. Of perfume. Are you in this corner? Maybe in this bathtub? Whoa, that was really strong. If you want me to leave, you got to do something for me. Are you going to? Or do you want me to stay? Give me a sign if you want me to stay as well. I'm leaving. This is your last chance to give me a sign. Do you want me to leave? Notice how this thing has gone completely quiet too, now that they left. Oh, right when I said that. Thank you for allowing me to come in here and talking to me. I'm gonna leave now.
This doll right here, she used to sit a little bit over this way, and she used to have a little pillow or something on her lap and stuff, and she likes to look around. And we were in the other room doing some recording and stuff like that, and we heard kind of like something fall, right? And it was like, okay, so we come in here with the little pillows on the floor, which, okay, pillow might have fallen on the floor, right? But she was looking down at the pillow. So yeah, apparently she moves a lot. So they had to push her further back because she likes to fall off the thing too for no reason at all. So yeah, I was talking about that doll over there.
So this isn't an original building, obviously, but
No.
why do people think that it's haunted?
Because of a lot of experiences, you know. A lot of folks get the little feeling of the little feminine gal that likes to follow you around and pull on your shirt like she wants your attention and stuff. Most folks don't get really, the cowboy guy don't really bother too much. Bothered us because I think we were bothering him. And Karen, like I said, just messes with the girls that don't do their job. But it's more feelings and stories that you hear. We have had some folks in here try to come up and cleanse the area and stuff, and that is not a good thing. That kind of just stirs up stuff that's not good. We usually lose employees after that. So we don't let people do that kind of stuff here. There's no negative, other than the cowboy that pretty much keeps to himself. There's really no negative. Nobody gets hurt or anything really, other than that one time that one gal got scratched, and that was really it. And she don't come up here at night that often anymore.
I wonder why. You think that could be related to the superstitions being so close? Maybe the energy of the mountains?
It could be, you know. There have been, the natives out here have been out here forever, and some of the legends where they got the name Superstition Mountains was the settlers and the miners coming out here in the early times. The mountain used to be called Thunder Mountain, or whatever, however you say that in Apache. And they would say, well, way back in the day, their ancestors had it great. Plenty of water, plenty of food, gold, whatever they wanted, and they got lazy. Started disrespecting the land, and the natives said, well, the spirits turned them into all those pillars and everything, those lions and stuff that you see on the mountain, as a punishment for disrespecting the land. Mm-hmm. So that's why they call, you know, they're telling all these folks this, and they're like, that's just a bunch of superstition. Yeah, superstition. So, you know, but there is a lot of energy. Even if you, and I've hiked all of these areas, you know, not up to the mountain, but you got to be careful. That mountain will kill you. It's a dangerous mountain.
That's what I told these guys. It's the one mountain range. I'm backcountry, off trail, no trail. It's the one place I won't go alone.
Yeah, that mountain will kill you. It don't matter how good of a person, you know, I'm born and raised in the desert. I know how to survive out there, but that's a dangerous mountain.
And why do you say so?
One, you can get turned around real easy. Even if you step off the path just for a second, you can turn around and totally lose the path. There are spirits up there. The Native Americans is sacred. That mountain's still sacred to the Native Americans around here, and it takes care of itself. If you ever get a chance to come back and go through the museum, they have a wall of on the very back there of everybody that has looked for the lost Dutchman's mine. Every one of them's dead except for two. You met one of them today, Bob. So the other one's Jack. He lives over at the Wasp Mine.
Wow.
A lot of them lost their head. They'd find the body minus the head.
Yeah, the two hikers.
Well,
A couple of years back, rumor had it one of them even had an arrow in his leg. Now I don't even know if that was true, but that would have been freaky. So
Yeah.
Well, they had a couple of years back. They had I remember I was concierge at the hotel, and there was a German fella, a Navajo Indian, and a guy from Phoenix, a local. And they were on one of them sites, those hobby sites, you know, trying to find it. They thought they had it located. Well, they went in the mountains, and 2 days later they found all their bodies. They were dead. You had that one kid up in, he was on a boulder, I think, wasn't he? And he had come down. He was a bellman, and he'd come down for for the winter months. He'd hike around. He didn't come back one year, and they looked for him. I think they looked for him for 10 or 12 years, and they finally found him. A helicopter was. I think it was the Game and Fish was counting sheep, the bighorn for the game management, and they found something stuck in a crevice. And I guess he'd fallen off of a cliff, and he was all the way in this crevice, and you wouldn't have found him unless you had a helicopter. Yeah. And that's just two, but there's hundreds.
Many. I mean, for 6 years in a row, there was a lady up there that had to get rescued almost every year for 5 years. The 5th year, they charged her big. Haven't seen her since.
What about the elderly guy who was he'd been hiking? He was 71. He'd been hiking up here his whole entire life, and about 3 years ago, they found him right off the trail here.
Yeah, right over there.
It's just in this wash. He'd been up that trail hundreds of times, all of his life, and for some reason he was in that trail dead of dehydration.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, the trail did. We're in literally one of those places that the landscape out here can literally change overnight. You have a big enough rain, it changed the whole view of everything. It's crazy.
That reminds me of something. You might find this interesting. It's not about the soups, but when I was living in Guatemala, I was hunting down the jungle, and my friend, he was a Mayan, full-blooded Mayan. He was born and raised out there. And he told me on the first day, he says, Corey, when we're in the jungle, if you're looking down and you look back up and the jungle don't look the way it did a second ago, don't move. Do not move. You look back down again, you count to 10 and you look back up and things should slide, he used the word slide back into place.
Wow.
Superstitions.
And I said, no, what do you mean? And he says, we tell all of our kids that in the jungle. He says, I don't know, because he spoke very poor English and my Spanish is wonderful. He said it has to do with what you call magnetics, and there's fields under this jungle here, and the things will slide on you. He said you be very careful, otherwise we won't find you again. That was my first day in the jungle.
Wow. You're probably like, ooh, okay. Yeah, right.
The desert ain't no different. It's a very
It's
powerful
not.
place out here. It's a very honest place. The landscape's very hard. It's very dry. You can't hide. Things are what they are. Warfare in the desert strategy. Everything lives by strategy out here, and there ain't nothing to hide behind.
Yeah, survival of the fittest, literally.
Yeah, but I mean that. I mean that physically. I mean that metaphorically and philosophically. You can't hide out here. You are what you are, and everything is as it appears. And it's a very dangerous place that way. Everything has to be really honest. It's a very, very fine razor's edge out here. So
Well, we got to
You
go
can
out
lose
there.
your mind easy out here if you don't know what you're doing and you get lost and you can't find your directions. You can wander around in circles for forever.
Then that's, I'm assuming, how you die.
Sometimes it's usually dehydration. Maybe you got someplace fell down into a hole that had a bunch of rattlesnakes in it. You got bit. It's usually natural causes, but sometimes it's like you said, dehydration, and it's like, well,
you start thinking funny. You got about 3 days without water before you die. Anywhere else in the world, in the desert, when I'm out there working, I'll burn through 3 gallons a day.
Oh.
Yeah, I bet.
I have something with me at all. I never not have anything to drink.
Yeah. They say there's 2 ways to die in the desert. You can either die of dehydration or you can drown in a flood. And
You could freeze out here.
or you freeze, yeah, you can freeze.
Right.
But you'll know what that means when you come here during the monsoon season and everything's flooding. You know what? You mentioned freezing here. The coldest night I ever spent in Arizona was, I told you earlier about that 16-mile hike back in 7th grade across the Soups, coming in first water and out at Peralta Trailhead. And it was, I guess, down to like something like 10 or 14 degrees that night out there in that desert.
Wow.
Next to Weaver's Needle. I didn't realize it get that cold out there, but it sure felt good.
I got pretty dang close to it this past couple of weeks, man. I come to work at 8:30 in the morning. It's 26 degrees. And I'm like, good lord.
Yeah, it's been chilly.
It has.
Yeah.
Well, y'all want to head to the mine?
Let's do it.
Cool.